What's up guys, this is Red Eyes Hotel Dragon, and today I bring to you the first ever deck profile video using real actual cards, because the previous deck profile videos were sort of tied in with my deck pro. So anyway, today I bring to you my Odd Eyes Magician Dimensional Dragon deck profile, which has both a competitive side to it and a non-competitive side to it, as I do run some other cards in this side. Anyway, I guess let's get started. For our main deck, of course, we gotta play the triple copy of the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, because this card is extremely useful, especially with Sky Arts, and it helps with a lot of our main extra deck plays to go into such things like Odd Eyes Absolute. I played 2 copies of Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon because it's searchable with Sky Iris, and it is a higher skill, and if it's destroyed, you can use this as a defense, last resort defense. And it's just, well, it's also usable for our Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon and our Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. And that's pretty much it. I just like it because it's a high skill and it's searchable with Sky Iris. And then, of course, I play 1 copy of Magical Abductor. The reason I don't play 3 is because if I don't get around to her, I can't fully utilize her effect. So I like to keep it down. And it's more so to do with how I use it. Next, I play 1 copy of Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, because we've got to go into our Ignister, which can be game sometimes and can counter your opponent by blasting one of their pendulums and shuffling in their back row or their pendulum skill or something that annoys you on the field. And then 1 copy of Artrina Centric, because destroying monsters is important, and it's a high skill, plus it can pop your opponent's back row. So it's just really good. And then most pendulum decks play, even the Meadowfoes. And then for our Magician engine, we play a triple copy of Oath Dragon. This is by far the most useful of the Magicians, as you can cycle back your Wisdom Eye to keep on destroying itself to search. And you can add back your Odd Eyes or whatever you want from your extra deck, which is really, really useful. And when it's Pendulum Summon, you can revive something from graveyard, such as your Wisdom Eye, if you use them to go into an Xyz. And of course, you've got that 1 copy of Wisdom Eye, because this basically gives you game if you open up with that and another skill. Because although it doesn't work with my Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon, it's a level 4, and it goes with my Oath Dragon, Dragon Post, and Dragon Pit. And it's just generically really good. It has a really good synergy with the deck. I play 1 copy of Dragon Post for a low skill and 2 copies of Dragon Pit, because I normally when I play with this deck, I find that I'm normally running out of higher skills rather than lower skills, because the lower skills are usually non-utilizable. Plus, I've got a Perform Pal engine here. Plus, the Magic Spectres that I use in this deck are actually lower skills. I use 1 copy of Noble Dragon Magician to go into my Synchro place, as it's utilizable from the graveyard, which means you can use your Pendulum Call and other such things, because if its summon is negated, then of course you can use it from the graveyard. For my Perform Pal engine, I play my 1 copy of Perform Pal Pendulum Sorcerer, as this pops your skills and then search your Skill Acrobat Joker, who gives you opening up with this is also very helpful, as it searches out whatever you need, including your Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon. 1 copy of Perform Pal Odd Eyes Unicorn, searchable with Sky Iris and also a higher skill. I play 1 copy of Silver Claw to get over my opponent's Magic Spectre Kieran, because it does get a damage boost, so you can use it with several other Perform Pals. And that's basically it. I play 1 copy of Fireflux. Now, this is because when I attack, you can basically stop your opponent from using Quaking Mirror Force or Drowning Mirror Force or any kind of Mirror Force. This is basically more so a safeguard when attacking when your opponent has back row. And it utilizes with your Odd Eyes extra decks, such as your Vortex. For my Magic Spectre engine, I would more so prefer to play 2 copies of my Raccoon Bumbunko, but unfortunately I only have 1, so I'm using 1. But I would rather play 2 over my free copy of QB, so I would like to have a 2, 2, and 2, because Fox QB gets you Magus Spectre Tempest, which is basically a Solemn Strike, but you can tribute your Magus Spectres. And it's also utilizable with Kieran, so you can have Kieran return something, and then you can either tribute it to Solemn Strike your opponent. Now, optional, if you're playing a non-competitive version, an optionable tuner is Tuning Magician if you're trying to keep true to anime. So I run one of them in the side deck because I like to use. I don't play that much competitive, but when I do, I normally side him out. But this is the competitive version that I'm focusing on right now. And for our spells, we play 1 copy of Odd Eyes Fusion, as this card is broken. And this gets you your Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon out first turn, which is very helpful with your recycling of pendulum monsters back into the deck, such as your Bumbunko if you don't need them anymore, or certain other cards so you can search out with Sky Arrows and stuff. 1 copy of Pendulum Call, because although it got Pet Pine Bandits, this is still a really powerful card because it does protect your pendulum skills after you activate it for a turn, so your opponent can't Twin Twister it even if you don't. So if you don't have Sky Arrows, then this is a good thing. I prefer to play my MST over Twin Twisters because I don't really like discarding in this deck, if you know what I mean, because you're more so trying to run over your opponent as quickly as possible, and discarding kind of puts you at a disadvantage even with your Oath Dragon because you only allowed 1 Pendulum Summon per turn, so this is my main way of getting over those Solemn Strike. The Solemn Strike. For my field spells, I play 2 copies of Terraforming, 1 Secret Village of the Spellcasters, and triple copy of Sky Arrows because Sky Arrows protects your skills and it can search out your allies. I play 1 copy of Secret Village of Spellcasters because if you don't open up with the best hand, the best you can do here is lock your opponent out from spell cards so that they don't get anything good, and you can come back next turn by replacing it with Sky Arrows, which is overall a really good tactic. And if you're going for a non-competitive version and you would like to use the Dimensional Dragons, I recommend 1 copy of the Phantom Knights rank up launch, because it's a quick play and can negate Crystal Wings and such. But that is only for your non-competitive version, but for the competitive version you should probably just stick to the spell cards here. Last of all, for the trap lords, I play my triple copy of my Solemn Strike in the deck, which is my Magus Spectre Tempest, searchable with Fox QB, who is also a viable rank 4 option. And this basically does the same thing as Solemn Strike, but instead of paying life points, you tribute 1 of your Magus Spectres, and it has great synergy with the deck, so I prefer to use this over your regular Solemn Strike. For extra deck, I play 1 copy of Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, because opening up with this can do a lot, because you can basically negate your opponent's best way out of stuff. So basically, if they were trying to come up with a comeback play, this basically stops them, and that's pretty much all I have to say. And also cycles around your pendulum monsters. For the other fusion monsters, I play 1 copy of Starring Venom Fusion Dragon, because although it's not the best card, this can steal Crystal Wings' effect. You're stealing its effect, plus you're stealing its attack points, which means you can put it at 5.8, plus you're locking your opponent out of monster effects because it can steal effects, which is actually pretty good. And of course, I play my 1 copy of Clear Wings Synchro Dragon, because we are playing the Dimensional Dragon build, and Clear Wing can get over higher level monsters, such as your Kaijus. So if you decide to run Kaijus in the side deck, you can tribute over your opponent's monsters and then bring out your Clear Wing. Clear Wing will attack, and then they take 2.5k 8k damage, which is really good. The other level 7 Synchro Monster run is 2 copies of Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. Because Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon can special summon something like from Pendulum skill, so you can replace it with a new Pendulum skill. Plus, you stop your opponent from using monster effects during the battle phase, which is pretty good if you're trying to counter over another Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Of course, I played one copy of Ignister Problems, the Blasting Draco Slayer, as Ignister basically destroys something on your field or your opponent's field if they're playing Pendulums, and then shuffles back in whatever you want back into the deck. This also includes extra deck monsters, so if you're trying to get over, I don't know what you're trying to get over, but it really helps. Of course, I played one copy of Nevada High Paladin because you can turn your Bumbunku into a tuner. And using this, it can attack over your opponent's monster, half their life points, plus you get to add something back to your hand from the graveyard when you use it. So if you're trying to run Twin Twisters, I would try and bring them out as quick as possible after you use your Twin Twisters, so you can bring back something like Skyers. For the XCs, I played one copy of Castell, because shuffling back in something back into the deck is really powerful sometimes. One copy of Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, plus we are trying to keep to the Dimensional Dragon. Your Utopia and Utopia Lightning, because this can get a lot of damage over, plus they can't activate any card effects. So the player Exotics can't activate anything. I play one copy of Red Eyes Flare Meadow Dragon. This is because if you're going up against Pale Exotics, every time they try to activate anything, they lose 500 life points immediately. Plus, it cannot be destroyed while it has Xyz material, which is all the time, because you're not going to be detaching, because you're not playing any Red Eyes normal monster in the deck. So it is really powerful, and I normally open with him rather than my 2 copies of Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. But if you're going for competitive plays, it's more so going him. But this is more so counter to something that activates a lot of things during their phase. But Odd Eyes Absolute can attack, negate. He can attack, negate, special summon back your Odd Eyes. The Odd Eyes can go and attack. This also works for your Meteor Burst Dragon. And when it gets destroyed, you can bring back your Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. Or you can go into your Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, which is a 3k beater that I preferred to have on the field. Unfortunately, I don't have Sankey Magician, I think it is, to have been in the deck, but I would absolutely recommend Sankey Magician, because unfortunately I wasn't opening boxes when Clash of Rebellion was around, and when I did pull packs, I just never got them. And because I'm in the UK, we never got the special editions, so that's why I play one copy of Rebellion Dragon without the Sankey. Also, if you're going for non-competitive plays, you can go for your Crystal Wing using your Tuning Magician, your Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, use the Phantom Mix rank up, and if you're going for using Yua's version of deck, there is one copy of Lightning Paladin which you could use. Rune Eyes, which can actually attack lots of times, plus it's unaffected on the first turn, so they can't do anything about it. So you've got a 3k beater that can attack up to 3 times, depending on what you use to fusion summon it. And that's basically it. Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon can get over Blue Eyes, because when you attack with Blue Eyes, he gets destroyed by this effect. Makes your opponent loses 1,900 attack, because that is what you're using to 1,800 because of your Silver Claw. And I do play one copy of Polymerization in the side deck just for my non-competitive duels. So basically that's why. So basically that's it for the deck profile. Anyway guys, that is it for Odd Eyes Pendulum Magician Dimensional Dragon deck profile, with a competitive side to it and a non-competitive side. Anyway, let me hear what you think about this deck profile down in the comment section below. Please leave a thumbs up on this video, and if you want to see more things like this in the future, subscribe for more in the future basically. And this is Red Eyes Photon Dragon out.